Okay, let's talk about one of the oldest debates in the gym. It's the big one. Can you actually do cardio and still build muscle? Or, does cardio really kill your gains like all the bros say it does? I mean, it's a tough spot to be in, right? You want that strong, healthy heart you get from a good run, but you also don't want to sabotage all the hard work you're putting in with the weights. It can seriously feel like you have to pick a side. But is that really the case? Let's dig in. So here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll kick things off by properly introducing the two styles of training. Then we'll get into that whole gains killer theory. After that, we'll see what the actual science says, and we'll wrap it all up with a super practical guide to make them both work for you. All right, first things first, before we can settle this debate, we need to be crystal clear on what we even mean when we say cardio and strength training. Let's meet our two main players. So in one corner, we have cardio, aerobic exercise. This is basically anything that gets your heart rate up and makes you breathe a little harder. Think running, cycling, swimming. According to experts like exercise physiologist Katie Lawton, its main job is to keep your heart and lungs in top shape. And in the other corner, we've got strength training. This is all about putting your muscles under some kind of resistance, weights, bands, even your own body weight, to get stronger, build bone density, and stay functional. Okay, so they both sound pretty important, right? So where does all the drama come from? Well, that leads us straight to the infamous gains killer theory. On the most basic level, the whole conflict is about energy. See, cardio is designed to burn calories and put you in an energy deficit. But building muscle, that requires an energy surplus. You need extra fuel to build new tissue. So right away, you can see how they seem to be playing for opposite teams. But it's not just about calories. Nope. The plot actually thickens, and the conflict goes all the way down to a cellular level. We're talking about the very muscle fibers that make up our body. First, you've got your type 1 fibers, also known as slow twitch fibers. Think of these as your marathon runners. They are all about endurance. They're the ones that get fired up during steady activities, like a long jog, and they're what we use for most of our daily movements. And then you've got the type 2, or fast twitch fibers. These are your sprinters, your power lifters. They're built for short, explosive bursts of power, and they're the ones you're really targeting when you lift weights. So the theory is that by doing both types of training, you're sending your body mixed signals, telling it to be an endurance athlete and a power athlete at the same time, which could limit your potential in both. Okay, that's the theory. And you know what? It sounds pretty convincing. But what happens when we stop listening to the gym chatter and actually look at the scientific evidence? Let's find out. So is this interference effect real? Well, the science says yes, but it is absolutely not the whole story. The research shows that the negative impact is almost exclusively felt in the lower body, which kind of makes sense, right? Most cardio is running or cycling, but your upper body gains, for the most part, they're fine. What really matters isn't if you do cardio, but what kind you do, for how long, and, this is the big one, how much you rest in between. And that brings us to the magic number. When you look at the studies, a really clear pattern emerges. The key to making this all work is rest. The sweet spot, the ideal amount of time between a heavy lifting session and a cardio session to really minimize any negative effects, is about 24 hours. See? When it comes to this debate, timing is pretty much everything. At the end of the day, here's the bottom line. We need both. As Katie Lawton from the Cleveland Clinic puts it so well, they aren't enemies. For a truly long and healthy life, they have to work together. One builds the engine, the other builds the car's frame. You need both to get anywhere. So now that we know all this, how do we actually make it happen in real life? Let's build a smart training guide so you can have your heart health and your muscle gains too. All right, let's lay out the game plan. First, try to prioritize high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. Unlike a long, slow jog, HIIT actually stimulates those powerful type 2 fibers, so it works with your lifting, not against it. 2, keep those cardio sessions on the shorter side, think 20 minutes or so. 3, and this is crucial, remember that 24-hour rule. Give yourself a full day between heavy lifting and cardio if you can. 4, be smart about scheduling. Probably not the best idea to do a bunch of sprints the day after you've destroyed your legs in the squat rack. And finally, the most important rule of all, just listen to your body. If you feel run down, back off. Don't risk overtraining. Which brings us right back where we started. Cardio and strength. Are they opponents locked in a battle for your body's resources, or is something else going on? The science is pretty clear. The problem was never cardio versus strength. It was always about how to program cardio and strength.
When you do it intelligently, they're not opponents at all. They're the ultimate tag team for your health, working together to build a stronger, fitter, and way more capable you.